Actually, I do have a Mike story. Remember Home Alone 2?
Yeah.
Boston, New York? Well, the hot toy that year was the Talk Boy, right?
Oh, right.
I remember that.
And can you guess what I recorded on mine almost exclusively?
How old were you?
11. Farts, man.
Farts.
I had that cassette tape packed front to back.
That is pretty fucking funny, dude.
Just
That's
my own farts.
that's kind of like the kid from Superbad who can't stop drawing dicks, but different, but with like the recording machine. That is hilarious.
Yeah. So if I made my sister cry or something, I would just like play it back and that would
that's
resolve the situation.
You never know when you need that. Just a bunch of recording of parts,
We could do that with our phones.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
And here's all the new text, our voice memos that are going to start going back and forth.
You know how like in text messaging you can actually send like voice memos? It's like you're gonna get, I got a voice memo from Blanco.
Hey.
Text
Those are usually just like pocket dial, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unhappy Cyclops. This is episode 34. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
We have the usual suspects with us, of course. Iceman, what's up, man?
I like ice cubes.
Yes, you do. How you doing?
I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic.
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Blanco?
Yo.
Doing
What's
all
up?
right, man?
Yeah, doing fantastic.
Cool. Well, this is Go.
Yeah.
Today we have a special guest with us. He's sitting over here to my left. He is a local illustrator. He's showing currently at Kettle Art. Am I right? Usually there.
Yeah, that's right.
And his name is Brad Albright.
Hey,
How you doing
appreciate you
today,
guys
man?
having me today.
Yeah, of course, man.
dude,
Thanks for
welcome to
coming.
the show,
Thanks
Brad.
for coming. You guys can check out Brad Albright on his Instagram at Brad Albright, and you really should check it out. He's got a lot of fucking amazing art and pieces and stuff, which is what we're here to talk about.
Thank you.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited we got you on the show. We were talking about it for, it seems like last
The
year.
last couple hours. Oh, the last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first message we sent you was like back in November.
It was, yeah.
Like last season.
Yeah.
So really excited to have you on the show. Love your work, and I think it's going to be awesome.
No, thanks. And all you listeners are enjoying it right now through your earball eyes.
through your earball sockets.
Entering their ears and making sweet love with their cerebellum.
Yeah. You can take our word for it, I guess.
Yes.
Absolutely. And as usual, guys, check us out at Unhappy Cyclops, Facebook, Instagram, such and such. Give us a follow, give us a like, give Brad Albright a follow as well. We're going to get started here real quick. So this is what's going to happen for you, the listener out there. So each one of us is going to ask Brad a question. Mm-hmm. And depending on if we like his answer or not.
Right.
We're going to rake them.
Yeah. And yeah, we're just gonna get to know each other, have a good time over here.
Try to like shed some light on his work, give you an exclusive.
Blanco and I are both
himself.
drinking water because of this stupid diet we're doing.
Yeah. Cheers.
Salud.
Whole 30.
Cheers to you guys, and cheer is to you.
Cheers.
How many days are we off? Like 12? 9?
We're pretty close.
What date is today? The 19th?
Yeah.
So then we are
11 days.
11 days.
Yeah, 11 days left.
All right.
God, that seems like an eternity.
11
Yes, it
days
does.
left? How many days in?
18.
19. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they say it takes, like 2 or 3 weeks for a habit to stick.
Yeah.
I guess so.
But are you changing it along the way? Like, does it... Are you, like, adding stuff back into it along?
You do that when, like, right after the initial 30. So, like, you get through the whole 30, and then you start adding stuff back into your regime.
Okay.
So.
No, I'm just going to go to a pizza buffet like midnight,
You're going to go to CC's Pizzas.
at midnight, just like right whenever the mark happens.
Right.
What's Iceman got over here?
Well, I think it'd be cool if we kind of just talk in general about his art before we start diving into his questions. So kind of to give the viewer a bit of an idea of like what we're going to be talking about and what he's going to be talking about.
And you guys can absolutely check his art on our Instagram as well as his. As a matter of fact, you should.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at oldschool3d.com. And what that is kind of the the section of my website that I have all old school 3D artwork. So these are illustrations, poster art, things that are all set up for the red and blue 3D glasses, the really lo-fi old school
so
thing.
cool.
I love those, man. It's been a long time since I've worn one of those glasses. It kind of trips me out.
Yeah.
Like, pretty cool effect.
Yeah, it's a lot of pop culture, a lot of color. If you're a fan of Stranger Things and Rick and Morty,
Even the Evil Dead is in there. I mean, it's classic.
Yeah.
But I love just the look of it. The 3D was such a thing. Like, I feel like in the past, kind of like slap bracelets. It's like, it was like a fad.
Those are back,
Yeah, I know. But
Absolutely.
when I look at your artwork, I'm like, that's so cool. It found this like little niche and, it put it together and created some like really, really, really cool kind of pop culture features.
how like growing up, that you grew up with like a just sci-fi, Star Wars, Star Trek, or how did you get into this pop culture sci-fi? Because there's definitely a theme.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I grew up watching lots and lots of movies. That was like my primary art form, I think, and children's books. So, sequential storytelling type things were always big for me, and graphic novels.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so anything that had kind of an entertainment angle, that's what inspired me. And then, as I went through high school into college and stuff, that's kind of what I was trying to target, even though I was coming at it from like a studio fine art, like traditional background. I was kind of a weirdo in my art department because I was more focused on doing little comics and things like that.
You colored beyond the lines.
And now you're the perfect grade A student of a citizen now.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess so. You do your jury duty.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. No, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was cutting you off. And your background is in fine art in school, and then you kind of went to the illustration?
Yeah, well, my undergrad was fine art, but I was drawing and doing narratives kind of almost self-directed. And then I was even petitioning to take classes outside of the art department, things like film theory and experimental animation and things like that to kind of feed what it was that I was trying to do. And then when I came out of school, I kind of fell into a graphic design career doing layout and print. Meanwhile, I was drawing kind of on my own. And then I ended up going back to grad school for illustration at the same time as working full-time in graphic design.
Wow.
So what that kind of led me to do, it was a combination of the two, where now I work a full-time design job designing licensed pop culture merchandise.
Oh, that's cool.
I started in wallets, lanyards, keychains, that kind of stuff. Batman.
Nice.
Nintendo. Yeah. And so now I design T-shirts, and it's a lot of Harry Potter and Wonder Woman and it's just
So when you design
the hottest licenses.
the T-shirts, do you do any of the prints yourself? So screening, or do you go through another source?
No. I work for a company, and we have a licensing department. We have graphic designers.
Gotcha.
We have factories that we work with and everything.
So can I pitch you an idea for a T-shirt?
yeah, please.
Because you mentioned that there was some Harry Potter involved. So you guys, Harry Potter, the name of the spell that reflects the mentors away. What's the name of that spell?
Expecto Patronus.
Thank you, the Patronus spell.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Occupational hazard. Total occupational hazard.
So a T-shirt of Quagmire from Family Guy, going Expecto Patronus, and his Patronus is a sperm cell.
Yeah.
Because it's Quagmire.
It's Patronum, which kind of sounds grosser anyway, right?
Yeah. Right? Because Harry's is like a stag and Hermione is like a rabbit, and Quagmire is a sperm cell. That's his Patronus charm.
Very, very niche market, but
just hitting a real specific spot there. Anyway,
so
there you go.
So anyway, through that process of kind of shifting from graphic design into something that was a bit of a blend, I was also getting more active in the local art scene and doing kind of my own art on the side. And pretty early on, I got real lucky and fell in with Kettle Art Gallery, which is down on Main Street.
Check them out at Kettle Art
Yeah.
Gallery.
And that's how I know Rodrigo here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we go into that, if I may, speaking of his artwork, because I understand that right now you're working a whole lot more in wood pieces.
Yeah. So the illustration and the 3D with the 3D glasses is kind of like one facet of my work. But now I'm starting to branch out into something that I've really wanted to do for a long time, which is building these three-dimensional sort of wall illustrations using layered wood that is laser cut and laser engraved. So I find it kind of interesting because I draw digitally almost all the time. So taking a drawing that started on the computer 100% and outputting it to something in wood that's 100% organic, using the technology, it's this kind of weird backwards flow that's interesting.
And it looks really cool. We have one right here, actually.
Yeah.
I actually got this one. Check it out, guys. And just like what he's talking about, the 3D, and we'll post a picture of this so you guys can check it out. But these pieces are amazing. It's woodwork, so there's a certain ruggedness to them. But you use a lot of black in it, which gives it, a whole lot of depth that goes along with, the layering that you said you were doing. It's just like really good work. I'm really into this series you're doing right now. I saw that you posted a cactus recently.
It's a lot of cacti and turkey vultures. It's kind of this dark Gothic Western thing.
Exactly. It's got like this like Western, like Americana kind of dark, feel to it.
Yeah. So
very dimensional.
Yeah. As I'm accumulating more of these things, they're turning into this kind of freaky menagerie of spiky cacti and then these vultures that are hovering, and eventually it'll occupy a wall, and it'll be this thing that is available, for people to collect or just come see in person. Right now, it's kind of existing exclusively on the Instagram feed. But really soon, it'll start hitting the gallery, and it'll be fun to.
I can't wait, man. We'll definitely go check it out.
I noticed those on your Instagram. They were fantastic. I was like, wow, how's it? They just look really clean.
Thanks.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah, thank you. It's exciting to see it kind of start to come together. I started fiddling with the idea a couple of years ago and did some prototypes in paper that were at the show. It was all basically the same stuff, cacti and vultures. And it went over pretty well as a new direction in the work that was different from what I was doing. It wasn't constrained to like a rectangle or, canvas shape. It was all free form and hanging and purposefully, popping out from the wall. And so I had always intended to do it in wood, and I wasn't able to do it until very recently because I helped crowdfund this laser cutter called the Glowforge. It like broke the record for biggest crowdfunding campaign. In 30 days, they raised something like $28 million.
Wow, that's insane. Laser cutting is so hot right now.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
But
literally.
They had this incredible video promoting the thing, and it actually took like 2 years for me to receive the actual machine, because it was a crowdfund, and it was like a lot of these things, they end up kind of dragging along a little longer than intended, but it was absolutely worth the wait because now I have this thing that is in my house,
right?
And I can make this stuff that is just so solid and tactile.
Yeah.
That organic, the organic element of working in wood from something that was drawn completely on the computer is really interesting.
Yeah, that's a really cool and kind of like a brand new, like even with CNC machines and these things, it's a new era that we're moving into where its technology is kind of coming back and influencing the older, styles or art forms, woodworking in more of a. It is an art form in its own particular way.
Absolutely. I love how the development that you talked about. You started with pins and stuff like that. More
primitive.
Not primitive, but just smaller, even in scale. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like developing, and then eventually, you moved on, started doing bigger pieces, exploring the 3D element, and then you actually use 3D, but then you kind of pursued that even further, and you're in a way still doing 3D, but on a more physical aspect.
And it's also like, it's not just how can I make it pop out, but it's how can I flatten things that you expect to pop out. So it's this really bizarre middle ground.
So it's kind of sculpture in a way as well.
Yeah.
In the fact that, which I really think is really awesome, that you're like 3D, original drawings of the 80s pop culture and all that. And I was like, all right, I was doing a 3D and now I'm making 3D stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's just, it's really cool. I dig it.
I always like things that were popping off the wall in some way beyond just the flat canvas. To me, that just always drew my attention in when I was in a gallery space. And
You're like Josh Groban. He likes his girls to pop. Hashtag
Nice
it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Anyone? If you caught that one, you're a Sunny fan. You know what I'm talking about.
You were talking about the Lady and the Tramp spaghetti thing.
There you go. There was another.
Just watched the cricket episode for the second time.
I know.
Oh man.
Riggedy cricket. But anyway, yeah, dude, that is amazing. So yeah, go check him out at Brad Albright. But how about we get started with the questions over here, since we've already gone to know about your process and kind of where you're from, where you've been, started from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Now you're here in the big leagues with the Unhappy Cyclops.
I know, right?
Wow, amazing.
This is your moment, man. You made it.
Like that 8 Mile song, it's like about this right now, So Iceman, you're going to get us started with your question.
I kind of just wanted to segue into so speaking from your art and the way you even do some processes, what are your core mediums that you use? This is not my question, by the way. I want to segue into it. But what are the core mediums that you use currently right now?
Sure.
I know on your website you list a few, but
well, it used to be a lot of ballpoint pen, but these days I work as much as I can actually on my iPad, and the reason for that is that
you use a pen on your iPad.
I do. It's
like a ballpoint pen on your iPad. Boom. I have to get a new one every year.
I think Iceman is gonna earn the badoomps of this episode.
It's so damn literal.
That's two already.
There's two already.
There's two already.
All right.
So every episode, we add the badoomps, but just one, and it's kind of like an honor, but not like a good honor you want to have to be the one who said the joke that deserves
like a Darwin Award.
Yeah, in a way. So Iceman has two right now, but someone could just say something that tops it.
But the problem is Iceman's editing this episode, right?
So that's there's some bias and collusion in there as well. Don't worry, it won't be you, or it might be. Actually, it was Candy the last time, so it might be you.
It could be.
It could be you.
Let's see what I can do.
The night is young. The night is young.
Yeah. So anyway, segue back to your question.
Ballpoint pens on iPads.
Yeah, it's great. No, Apple has their own thing they call it the Apple Pencil.
Yeah.
Which, it works with the iPad Pro and it's pressure sensitive and it's a lot like a Wacom tablet, like a Cintiq it's called, the kind that's a screen. Not really that important, but it has allowed me to break away from working at the computer at the desk, so I can sit on the couch and watch TV with my girlfriend or watch a movie or listen to music or wherever.
You become mobile in your art.
And that really did change things for me because it kind of freed me up a little bit, and also because I don't have all the control that I would have in, say, Photoshop or Illustrator or something like that. It kind of forces me to be loose at the beginning, and that's where I do a lot of the work is just kind of shifting things around so the composition looks okay, even if it's real fuzzy and no one else would know exactly.
Yeah. So you use it's the Apple Pen, ballpoint pens, and then you use Apple Pen for your iPad.
Yep.
Okay.
And then eventually I'll end up in Photoshop and Illustrator and kind of fine tune things. But these days I'm doing more and more of the actual shading and line work and everything just there in the iPad.
Nice. Yeah. I see you also mess with Scratchboard.
Yeah.
I remember I did an art piece in college with Scratchboard. That is a very difficult medium to work with because it's there's no undo with that, man.
Right.
Once you scratch it, it's done. You have to commit.
Yeah, but even more so, it's hard because you're having to draw the highlights instead of the shadows.
Yeah.
And so most of the time, everything looks backwards because you have to do a lot of them before it really starts to sink in how to kind of shave away.
Right.
Instead of outlining everything.
Yeah. Do you guys know what Scratchboard is?
No, I don't.
Basically, so if you look at Brad's website and you see some of his black and white paintings, imagine if you just started off with a black piece of paper, but the black parts you can scratch off, and whatever you scratch off is white
Gotcha.
behind. So basically, I believe some of these are scratchboard right here.
No, those are all digital.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, this is what it would look like,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Like you go with like a fine point or something like that.
Like you said,
scratch
you
it
gotta
off.
commit.
So I guess segueing into my question.
Did Iceman just like sneak in 2 questions?
I think he snuck in like 4,
I
to
think
be
he
totally
did, man.
honest.
It's sneaky bastard.
So my fifth
Sneaky
question
bastard.
is,
We'll allow it.
which creative medium would you love to pursue but haven't yet?
I don't know if I am actually ever going to touch it, but I've got this kind of new fascination with neon signs.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I think that.
Touch
Live
it. Please
news.
touch it.
Like,
Like, you talk about like full bin, the tube, the like glass and everything. Like,
yeah. I have no idea how it's done, but especially if you drive through Austin, it's like a museum of amazing neon signs because every business down there is like real artisan and like independently owned, and they all have hired out their own custom signs. So it's not like McDonald's and Best Buy and stuff. It's like you're not familiar with these images, and they're just hitting you while you're driving around.
Yeah.
Crash
really
into
cool.
somebody.
Wow.
I went to a design conference in Grapevine, and there was an Australian guy who was it never really even dawned on me that like there was sign design. That was
Yeah.
a particular thing that people did. And he came in and that's all he did. And he did it because he loved working with his hands. So
Yeah.
he started like welding everything. And I was just like, it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because he was just showing all the difference, and he started talking about neon. I was like, dude, that is so cool, especially with like the 80s things that are coming in
Yeah,
and where
I mean,
all that
clearly
comes from.
it's an amazing art form, and these guys are artisans of like the top caliber. But you don't really think about it, especially up here where everything is so like, I don't know.
Yeah, uniform.
Matte. Yeah,
It also takes a certain amount of engineering too. It's not just being an artist. But
Oh
like,
yeah,
having to
there's
deal
science
with-
of different gases, I guess, to make different colors. I think I don't know.
yeah, you guys. Well, I just
Yeah,
thought,
like
I just like-
midichlorians and like
Yeah.
I thought it was just like colored water with lights in it.
That might work. I don't know.
It's the noble
Protons,
gases, man. It's the noble
electrons.
gases.
Well, are you
No,
done?
well,
Is
that's-
that your last
that's awesome,
question? Is
man.
that your
Yeah,
last
so-
one question?
That-
You guys heard it here, Brett Albright's gonna be doing neon signs now for 2018. Here
Absolutely.
we
By
go.
September, you can put your orders in at Brett Albright. He will have it done.
Well, let's see what I can do with the laser. Maybe like some acrylic or
Yeah,
something.
for sure. No, it's a great idea though, man. For sure. I mean,
have those-
like you said, like that could work just on the street, of course, but also like in people's, houses, apartments.
Dude, you should
stuff,
start with like those glasses that they have, like the little neon like tubes that run through them, and you turn them on.
Right.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Anyway, I'm not trying to add another. Like Go's already making you do a T-shirt. I'm making you do like a different medium with neon. It's like, all right, Blanca, what do you got for him?
If I could just get my microphone, just like
What
outlined it.
homework do you have for
Yeah.
Brad?
I know,
over here?
right?
All right, I got a question for you. And my question is a little bit different than Iceman's, but I think I always find it fascinating to really get deep with other artists, and kind of the question is what is your, and I'll let you take it in whatever direction you want to go with it. Absolutely, is kind of what is your biggest fear when it comes to your artwork, or your biggest challenge or struggle, or
Yeah, sure.
wherever that particular question can lead us.
Yeah. I guess I'd say on like a daily basis, probably the biggest challenge is like the business side. Making it work for you, where it's, you're not underselling yourself. A lot of times that salesman side doesn't come naturally for people that are, creatives. We can be pretty like introverted or passive, or we have no objectivity about this stuff that we're spending a lot of time on. So it's hard to get out there and be real confident sometimes about pricing, or even like accounting and all that
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely. Because
nonsense.
it's just like, how do you just all of a sudden, it's
To be
hard to
assertive
land.
like that, it's hard when it's so personal.
I always felt that was such a problem with like schools and universities, because my master's is in theater, and I always want to go back and tell them, like, it would have been awesome If one class you would have taught us how to do our taxes.
Yeah, a good
that would have
business
been
class.
fantastic.
Or like balance your checkbook,
Or how to market, how to invoice. Most people don't know how to send an invoice, or keep up with any of this stuff because you are basically working for yourself constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mint.com. Can we have a class for that?
I know,
Jeez.
right? Yeah.
I just had to do it, but
I'm lucky I got a bit of that stuff in grad school, and that's part of why I went, was to really figure out what is it that these illustrators, these artists that are actually selling it as a service, how does that work? Because in undergrad, we didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case for a lot of schools.
Yeah. And a lot of different professions.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, guys, what do you say if we take a little break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes? And welcome back. And welcome back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Unhappy Cyclops. We are back over here with Iceman, Blanco, and our special guest. You're so special.
Aww.
His name is Brad Albright. And Brad, so we learned a little bit about your process, about your creative mind, about your desires, your fears. We've learned a little bit and a lot about yourself. And Iceman, dang, you're getting like the VIP treatment. He's like fixing your mic and everything.
There we go.
It's pretty amazing.
Right.
This is swanky.
I like it. So we had one last question for you, and that is, what can your fans expect for 2018?
Yeah. Well, we talked about the laser cut wood stuff.
That's so hot right now.
So hot.
So
It's so
hot. So that's gonna be, I guess, hitting.
So you're taking that into a stride.
Yeah. I'm working on a body of work there that'll be kind of like a cool collective.
Are you
grouping.
gonna do any more of your like traditional 3D pieces?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? All right. So you're gonna still, be doing both of them.
Yeah.
At the
So
same time.
in fact, the first time I saw you, I
Love that
had a
first
show.
Do-do-do-do.
I had a 3-person show, and all of the work that I was showing were these large concert
Yeah, I remember that
scenes,
show.
right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know you, but I'm hanging out at the gallery, and then I see this guy, this dude with kind of like long hair. He's wearing his headphones. He's just kind of like nodding his head, standing in front of this, standing in front of this big like 3D panorama banner that we made. He's wearing the 3D glasses, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" This dude brought his own soundtrack. This is perfect.
That's actually exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had my own soundtrack going on. Yeah, that was a cool show. That was the first time I saw your work. So you go to the gallery, and there's different artists or different pieces, but then you see a piece in the distance, and it's it's 3D, and then you have the glasses there to just kind of have the full experience. So you're gonna step back and everything pops out.
take it in.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
So anyway, I kind of go in cycles, and I see myself doing more of that concert scene type work, and then I always come back to the Western thing. So I'm sure that'll be in the 3D posters.
What was the first concert you ever went to? Which band?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh shit,
Dude, I remember
this. Awesome.
Coming out of their shells, sponsored by Pizza Hut.
That is awesome, dude. Wow.
Hopefully Pizza Hut will
All right.
throw us a
That's
discount.
awesome.
All right.
I had a friend that cried and cried after that concert because he didn't get to touch the turtle. Because the turtle reached out, and a bunch of kids got to touch
That used to
it.
be me after every Muse concert when I didn't get to touch Matt Bellamy. So
Yeah.
but finally one day,
Until you
finally
did.
got I got to high five him. I still haven't washed my hands since then. Anyway,
Absolutely. That's a good one. You win that question. We're not even gonna have to listen to
man.
our answers. So Woodwork's going on right now. How about any shows? Do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, in fact, coming up real soon at Kettle Art Gallery that we mentioned before, we have the annual For the Love of Kettle show, and it's the show to go to at the gallery. It's people are always lined up down the block that night. All pieces are, I think, 11 by 14 is the size, or 9 by 12. Doesn't matter. Everybody's working on the same size board, and every piece is $50. Doesn't matter if this guy normally sells his stuff for $500. If it's someone brand new, it's all $50, and it all benefits the gallery 100%.
nice.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
people
That's awesome.
are just like ravenous for these things every year. They're lined up waiting for the doors to open, trying to peek into the windows to figure out, which one are they going to try to snag. So that's coming up real soon. I think it's Saturday, February 3rd.
Yeah, For the Love of Kettle.
Yeah.
Saturday, February 3rd at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
7?
But
Yeah.
get there early.
Yeah. Because they fly by.
Yeah.
So I was actually For the
In
Love
fact,
of Kettle.
Sorry to cut you off,
you're
but
good.
that's where I'm
dare
gonna
you.
debut some of these 3D wood pieces.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, the cacti?
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Succulents.
So you need to go check it out at Kettle Art Gallery in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
The show is called For the Love of Kettle, Saturday, February the 3rd.
February the 3rd. Oh, that's awesome.
It's actually pretty cool. So I went to that same show, but last year.
Nice.
And so they have all these pieces. I don't know, it's stuff that usually, would go, $200, $250. There's a lot of originals there even.
Yeah.
But it's all $50. So the way they do it is anytime someone claims a piece, because you don't just take it, with you, they just put a sticker on it. So it happens to where you see a piece that you like and you just walk towards it and you're like, no sticker, no sticker, no sticker, no sticker. And then, you're either happy or
that's
sad
awesome.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there's no sticker, you have to run to the desk to claim it before anybody gets there before you. It's
Oh,
pretty
that's
fun.
perfect.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show. And then a week or two after, I forget, you have to come to the first show to get the details on the second one. But the second one benefits the artists 100%, and that's called For the Love of Artists.
Oh, that's awesome.
This 2-part show happens every year, and it really is the best, coolest thing that happens all year, and people
Yeah,
are
that's
crazy
great.
for it.
That is such good synergy between gallery and artists. Just the fact that all these artists For the Love of Kettle would, put out their work just for the sole benefit of the gallery because they understand the value, and then at the same time, the gallery doing the same for the artist
Yeah.
because there's that, reciprocity between
Right.
them.
And it's just fun. A lot of cool people.
Do you have any solo shows coming up, or?
No, nothing planned, but I guess something that I'm kind of working towards is doing kind of like Aaron Curry, name drop, doing artist festivals, having my own tent where I can completely curate this 10 by 10
Yeah.
space with a combination of 3D posters and the
Oh, heck yeah, man.
the wood stuff. So I'm gathering all the materials and hardware, the tent itself, all that kind of stuff. It's a huge undertaking.
man.
So I've been doing that, and I'm looking towards the Cottonwood Art Festival in May.
All right.
In
I think it's
Richardson?
I think it's May the 5th
Yeah.
weekend, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
that
Yeah, the
sounds
one in
right.
Richardson.
So
All right.
I'm gearing up for that. That'll
That's
essentially
awesome,
be a major solo show for me.
Cool, man. Well, we might have you back, sometime before that to promote you over at Cottonwood.
Sweet. I better
Check
get to
him out,
work.
May the 5th. Put it on the calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
Right after or before May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
Dude, I cannot do Star Wars right now, maybe never anymore. I don't
Come
know.
on!
Oh, no, we lost you?
didn't
We could go another 2 hours.
Didn't you see
then.
the rating we got on the last
Last
episode,
Jedi
man?
was
3.5, man.
They
It's
they at least almost killed Star Wars with The Last Jedi. But we're just listen to the previous episode if you want to hear the battle between the light and the dark side of the Force regarding The Last Jedi. If you're into such things.
If you're into that, yeah.
We're into that.
If you're into that. Thank you so much for being with us.
Cheers.
man.
Cheers, Brad.
Thank you, guys.
Eisman and Blanco. Guys, please check us out at Unhappy Cyclops on social media. Give us a like, give us a follow. Also, check out Brad Albright at Brad Albright. That's BradAlbright. Brad
it.
Albright. Also, check him out at oldschool3d.com.
Yeah.
And Brad, any last thoughts?
I like the Granada.
It's a
Yeah.
great last thought.
And I'll tell you why.
No, that was it. No, just kidding.
I like turtle.
No, you were saying about the Granada.
Yeah, they've got these dividers, right? Kind of in the general admission space, and it's a really unique thing I've never seen before. But it allows you to stand in that general admission without people pushing forward and crunching you in
Yeah.
that mosh area.
Yeah. If you
It's
want
way
that,
more
you can go
comfortable.
to the front,
Yeah.
but it cleans out as it goes further back.
Yeah, it's a really cool feature that makes it real comfortable to be in standing room.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Great space.
Yeah.
Great space.
I like
I
it.
like
Check out the
turtle.
Granada Theater. We like turtles, I guess.
All right.
I don't know where that's from.
No? The famous kid? Where
Yeah.
have you been
Dude,
for the
have
last
you-
10
are you
years?
serious?
I like turtles.
we landed on the moon.
We landed on the moon.
We don't know what we're going to do about this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us.
Thanks, guys.
Eisman, Blanco, Brad. Good to have you guys. And as
I
usual,
have a sign-off quote.
What's your sign-off quote?
My sign-off quote is Neon Art, Brett Albright 2018.
Oh, that's shit. He's gonna happen. I would buy that.
Prophecy.
What's your sign-off quote, Blanco?
I would buy that.
It's pretty good too.
For $1?
It's pretty good too.
Would you buy that for $1?
Anybody want to say any other sign-out quotes?
Anybody want to interrupt you one more time?
And one more thing. I have one more question.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us here at the Unhappy Cyclops, episode 34. Iceman Blanco, love you guys, the usual suspects. Brad, thank you for being with us. Don't forget to check him out at Brad Albright. That's BradAlbright. And check us out at the Unhappy Cyclops, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, stay unhappy.
Neon 2018.
Damn it.